Hello there. So we are going to look at Clickfunnels. We are going to poke around in the dashboard just for a second, just so you can get your bearings. And then we're going to import a condition-specific funnel so you can see how to make sure that it has all of your branding and all of your information in it. So first, this is your dashboard. This is just a little game you can play to kind of get familiar with it. It might be a good thing to go through at the very beginning. Just hit this and run with it. They just did this probably last week, I think. So I'm not super familiar with using it yet, but you can put your different funnels in here so you can see the stats when you come in to glance, at a glance. And come over here and basically these are your quick links to probably your most active actions. Sending an email and creating a new action funnel. And then over here are your favorite funnels. So if you've got a funnel that's active that you're working on right now, go ahead and start it so you can just see it over here. You can build a new funnel directly here. Just click the button and go. It pretty much walks you through it now. It used to not, but now it's really user friendly. And then you can see over here any tech support. This is your happy place. Always when you have a question, click over here and type in your question, and they will usually get back to you pretty quick. Especially if you have the full suite, you are at the top of their response priority. So another benefit for that. Okay, so this is pretty much where you're going to spend most of your time, and then second, you're going to spend your time over here. Well, actually, no, let's just go this way. Okay. So over here with your funnels, these little headers up here are just tags. So each funnel has a tag, and this allows me to categorize them. So you can see I have a lot of funnels that are in action for multiple businesses, multiple clients, and lots of stuff I'm playing with as well. The ones that I've favorited will show up over here. Okay, that was awkward. I don't know why I did that. So your recent activity, anything that's archived. If it's inactive, I go ahead and archive it, especially if you have the $97 version, because you're going to run out of funnels. You're pretty much not going to run out of funnels with the full suite. But it's good to go ahead and archive it just because it's just a lot of funnels and pages, and you don't want to bog down your system. Shared funnels, we're going to come back to this in a second. This is how you're going to get your condition-specific funnel. And then the marketplace. Basically, these are different funnels. This isn't actually a purchase funnel, but different funnels that you have imported from other places, and purchase will go in there. Okay, next we've got Actionetics. We're going to talk about that later because that's a little complex, but this is basically your MailChimp or your Aweber on steroids right over here. We'll get to that in a minute. It'll make more sense in the context of the funnel we're going to look at. And then you're pretty much not going to use this. If you're selling online products, you might want your group to be an affiliate. Basically, an affiliate is someone that when someone clicks on a link and sells, and they purchase a product with an affiliate link, that affiliate gets a percentage of the profit. So you can create your own affiliates over here, as long as you are selling a product in a funnel. And it's a great way to leverage other people's audiences and also give them an incentive to promote your product if they like it. Over here are all the account details. This is a pretty important place for very specific things. For your custom URLs, and we'll get to this in a minute too, your www.yourwebsite.com. You'll do that right here. Integrations are going to be like your email. SMTP settings are also your email server. Basically, they don't host your email. You need your email to run through something like SendGrid, and you'll have seen that when you set up. You're going to need to spend a few hours setting everything up, and their tutorials will walk you through that really well right here at the help. Just go to Docs and type in your question, and you'll find a ton of videos and documentation. The SMTP settings allows the email to be sent. If you don't have that set up, there's no way those emails will go out because they're not going through anything. Basically, the SMTP is an external server, like an external Gmail, if you will, that sends the email out for you. Payment gateways, if you're creating an online product that people can buy, you would use Stripe or whatever their portal is. I think they use PayPal as well. Your affiliates here, if you are actively promoting Clickfunnels, I only recommend that you do this when you know it and you like it. Then you would find your affiliate information here. You won't use managers. And then account details up here. And digital assets, if you have a free ebook that's under 3 megabytes, you will use this portal to import the document so you can connect it to a button when someone gets the free download. If you don't, if the document is over 3 megabytes, you're going to go to Amazon, and they walk you through this in their help documents. They're going to be much more detailed than I can be because this makes my brain explode. But just so you can see, this is an external server for large documents that transfers information really fast. You'll see, like, these are on servers all over the country. So, yay, Amazon. Okay, so let's go to import our funnel. So we've got a link. I'll pull this up real quick. Here is the link. And I'm just going to open up a new tab. And I am going to paste that link in there. And since I'm already logged in, it's going to automatically begin importing this funnel. This is one of Brady's thyroid workshop funnels. So we just let it do its thing. And then we go click here. Right now, see it's under the shared funnels. I'm going to click view funnel. And we've got, okay. So this is the dashboard for the funnel itself. And let's see, the best place to start is, so over here are your steps. You've got an opt-in, and then you've got a thank you. And it takes a little while sometimes for this little preview to pull up. So it's a two-step funnel. Basically, when they opt in, they're kicked over here to the thank you page, and you're good to go. So we start over here, the settings, the tab up here at the far right-hand side. Now I'm going here, and I actually like to put the date of the funnel, of the workshop, I mean. It's September 30th. I also like to change this to, I usually keep a tag that is active funnels. So I know not to mess around with these funnels because there is a paid campaign connected to it. Over here, the domain, this is under the assumption that you have already set up the custom domains over here. It is very easy now. They've made it super, super easy. All you need to do is click that button, follow the directions, and have access to where you bought your URL. The easiest one that I've found to use is DreamHost. GoDaddy is okay. I've had to have tech support step in a couple times because there are just some very, it sounds very simple settings you have to change on the panel of your host, but sometimes the host panels are kind of complicated. Like Gmail or GoDaddy's has like 10,000 CNAME servers, which is the server you have to change, and basically that just tells that URL to point to ClickFunnels servers where your funnels are. That was kind of geeky, but I think you get the gist of it. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to use an extra URL that I have laying around. I don't like all the mess behind this. Now, if you have multiple funnels with a very similar name, you do want to put something unique in there so that ClickFunnels doesn't get confused because the URL is similar. So let's just put September 30th. And then the favicon here, it's just a link to a photo or an image, and basically it's this little guy right here. This little guy on the tab is called a favicon, and it's kind of a not necessary detail, but it's a detail that I like to have in there. Basically, I want my logo in there. It's a branding thing. Don't worry about it right now, but it is something that you want to get into the habit of using. Okay, so now what I do first when I set up a funnel is change the URLs. because, I don't know, it just seems like the first thing to do. So we changed it on the core setting, which is the whole funnel. Now we need to change it on the step level. This is a step right here. And then when you click down, this is a page. So what that means is that this opt-in step uses this URL right here. This page has its own URL, which is right here, yourwebsite.com/ whatever we put there. So let's go ahead and, again, we're using unique URLs, workshop, thyroid, and then I put version 1. You'll see why in a second. Okay. So we still haven't changed this on the step level, but we've changed it on the page level. Right there. I'm going to update that. Now, let's go ahead and change this because this is a little sloppy. We do that over here in publishing. So usually after I do the settings for the whole funnel, then I go to the step level publishing tab. And I'm going to also make this opt-in because we're at the opt-in step, September 30th thyroid. Update funnel step. Always save it because it won't save it if you don't update it. Now, the reason we do this at the step level is because now I can swap in multiple versions of this one page to test. It's called a split test. So we're going to create a variation. I'm just going to duplicate the existing page. And let's say we want to test the video. Then I would come in here to this page over here, and I would use a different video. Or say you want to test the button color or the headline. Change one thing on the page, just one core element, and save the page. Then you move this little dial over here to 50%, and then you hit Apply Changes. And what that does is it now distributes, when someone clicks on this URL, which this is the URL you'll use in your Facebook ad, this one at the top, always use this one. Whenever someone clicks on this main step level URL, they will have one of these versions distributed to them. And what you can do is look at the statistics over time and see how many conversions happen under the step level. Right now it's set to distribute 50-50. So whoever lands on it, there's a 50% chance they're going to hit either page. Now notice each page, here's again, the extension of the URL is www.com, yourwebsite.com/opt-in, blah, 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 blah. That's on the page level. You do want to make sure, if you do take it this far and adjust these page level URLs, you can leave them as is. It's fine. They're a little sloppy, but it's okay. Make sure they are very different from each other, or Clickfunnels will get confused and they won't distribute the split test equally. So keep that in mind. So let's do the next step, which is the thank you page. So once the person gives you their information, and clicks the button to submit it, they're automatically sent to the thank you page. So let's go ahead and clean up the URLs here. So I go to publishing. I'm going to go ahead and make this September 30th thyroid. Now, it doesn't really matter so much if you've only got a couple funnels that are live, but when you've got a ton of funnels that are live, you're going to have a lot of thank you pages. So you want to make sure that the thank you page has its own specific extension right here. We saved it, and let's go ahead and change the page level. It's really sloppy. So thank you, version 1, workshop 30th. Now to keep all this organized, I actually use a Google spreadsheet, and I take the thyroid, or take the workshop or the funnel title, which is right up here. This is the core title. You can change it under settings right here. So I take that and I copy and paste it into a spreadsheet, and then I take the next step and I put the step level name on the sheet, and then next to it I put the step level URL. Now if it's a complex funnel that I'm testing, I will also put the page level URL underneath it so that it all stays together. But usually I just do the step level. So I'll put that down, and then I'll also put the thank you page down in the spreadsheet. Now sometimes I have some funnels that can be 14 and 15 pages long for main website funnels. So then it's really important that you use a spreadsheet to organize everything. And if you have multiple campaigns running, you want to keep them all organized in a spreadsheet so that when your Facebook guy says, what page do we want to connect them to, you can just pull that link out and send it to them rather than logging back in and doing all this goodness. So that is the prepping the funnel to get into the juicy stuff. Let me finish showing you the tabs up here, and then I'm going to stop this video and we'll start another one to show you how to edit it, because this will be 2 hours long. So the stats tab is going to be your statistics. It'll show you how many have opted in. If you have, see we have a split test running, it'll show you the control, how many opted in, how many landed, and then it'll show you the variation numbers as well. Then over here it'll give you your conversion rate and the percentage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Contacts, it will show you who is logged in, who is opted in to this funnel. And we already looked at settings. So I'll come back over to steps. Automation is cool, it's jazzy. So Brady's already set up his automation here. And this basically, you can do it in 2 places. This is a good place to do it so that it stays in the funnel and that the correspondence are funnel specific. Basically, these are emails. He set them up to be emails, and they trigger immediately when someone signs up. So each one of these emails has its own drip, which is when the content's dripped out. So it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. The reason this matters is that as you progressively get closer to the workshop date, you want these day 4 and day 5 emails to say, are you ready for the workshop? Here are the details. Are you coming? Now what you also want to do is in this specific list, now I don't have a list set up for this, but you would find the list over here in Actionetics. In that list, it would be thyroid workshop list is what you would create. In that list, you would also have scheduled broadcasts going out 2 to 3 days in advance of the workshop, and then the day before, and then the day of, and have 2 to 3 each day. Basically what that's going to do, it's going to catch anybody else who has opted in for this funnel previously and didn't make it. Then they'll say, oh, look, here's another workshop. It's also going to prompt the people who have signed up for this specific workshop to remember to go and trigger those emails several hours in advance of the workshop for the day of. And it can be super simple, 1 or 2 sentences. Subject line is, don't forget, workshop at 6 p.m. at the name of your clinic. I think that is where we are going to, if you need to add a new step, it's right here. Just click the button and then it walks you through. You name it and then it lets you select the pages and everything. So I'm going to stop here and start a new video. Okay, back in a flash.